Welcome.
Welcome. We are
Another
back.
another r slash no sleep story. This one's called "There's Someone in Our Walls. Please Help." It's by AC Walker is Scared.
Was AC Walker scared? I
He
guess
was definitely scared writing the story.
maybe. I guess we're gonna have to find out. Maybe there's something in his walls. We actually have no don't have any ideas, so we're just kind of jumping in as usual. So,
Yep. I got the desperate email about a week ago when I was down in my vault doing research. I almost didn't notice I have been researching this unreadable antique book I acquired recently for my collection. And when I'm deep in research mode, I'm practically gone to the world. But my dog Midge was with me, and she was nosing insistently at the phone when it buzzed, enough to wrench my attention away from the book. I glanced over, and there was the email waiting on my screen, the subject line in bold letters. "There's someone in our walls! Please help!" Given my reputation on certain niche corners of the internet, emails like this are not uncommon. Usually, I only hear from other collectors, or people looking to get rid of something supernatural. But once in a while, I'm treated to a desperate plea from the dark. I opened the email and read it, analyzing the details to weigh whether this was the real deal or just a prank. Sometimes, all there really is to go on is a gut feeling. By the time I'd reached the end of this email, I'd already made my decision. I was in my car the very next morning with Midge in the passenger seat, driving for Charleston, West Virginia.
wait, I lost where he was. Oh, here we are.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Sammy, not his real name, and Max, definitely not his real name. Privacy protection, yada yada. Lived on the edge of the city. Midge was growling as soon as I parked the car, her milk white eye fixed on the dilapidated,
Dilapidated.
I know what it
There you
was,
go.
dilapidated apartment building stand before us. Sammy and Max were college students, so it didn't surprise me that they would elect to save money by living in a place that looked like it could be knocked down by a gentle breeze. We got out of our car just as the sun dipped nearer to settings. I can hear me echoing through your mic, bro.
uh, Let me move it a little. There we go. I'll move my mic a little further.
Dipped nearer to setting. The elevator was out of order, so Midge and I trudged up the stairs to the fourth floor. Backpack slung over my shoulder, I glanced at the walls as I ascended. The paint was peeling, and some dank corners were dotted with mold, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary so far. When I knocked on the door of the apartment, it was Max who answered. Dark bags hung under his eyes, and his whole body seemed to droop with exhaustion. He took one long stare at me. "You're late," he droned. "Hi." Oh, hi to you too. Oh my god. My bad. I replied. "Hit a bit of traffic on the way." "You're not the one Sammy called, are you?" Max continued to look at me and up and down. "AC? That's me." And it was an email, actually. Max seemed skeptical. "You just don't look very professional. I don't see any, guns or equipment. Aren't you supposed to be some kind of expert?"
Admittedly, I'm more of a hobbyist, but two broke college kids like yourself can't afford the big guns, even if you could find them. I politely but firmly forced myself past him into the door, with Midge in tow, already tired of the small talk. I was only really there for the rare specimen supposedly lurking within. Anyway, I've got some things in my backpack. The apartment consisted of two bedrooms, a tiny living room, a shoebox kitchen, and a bathroom in desperate need of bleaching. Ugh. Sammy was asleep on the couch. Max nudged him and he started startled awake, as if from a nightmare. "Oh, oh my god, you're here. I'm sorry," he croaked, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. Hi, sorry again. I didn't mean to fall asleep. I don't sleep well at night anymore. Not since it started. 2 weeks ago, right?" I took a seat on the ripped up recliner across from him. Midge stayed glued to my side, looking around the apartment with her ears back. Sammy nodded. "It just started happening out of nowhere. It's been every night. Max stationed himself by the kitchen window, staring out at the sky with a dead-eyed look. Should start up soon, once it gets dark enough. I smiled. I see. Nice to meet you, by the way. I appreciate you inviting me over to this thing to see this thing for myself. Max shot me a look, and to get rid of it,
Spoilers, can be a Discord mod hiding in the wall.
ah, fucking yuck.
Right. And to get rid of it, I added quickly with a wave of my hand. Get rid of it left a lot of room for interpretation, though I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with the specimen until I knew more. I pulled my notepad from my back pocket and looked over what I jotted down from the email. So, Sammy, you mentioned disturbing sounds, strange visions. They aren't visions, it's real, Max snapped. I'll confirm that for myself. I quickly glanced around the room. Again, ceiling fan emitting a low hum as it spun. I thought I saw a shadow of movement in the corner, but I could have just as easily been a trick of the eye. Have either of you experienced any significant life changing preceding this phenomenon? Any odd occurrences? Literally nothing. Sammy shook his head. The light flickered above Max. Oh, Max said nothing. Okay, well, it worked either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
How long have you been living in this apartment? About 2 years, Sammy said, then went still. The light flickered again. Elsewhere in the apartment, a soft, creaking sound echoed. Fuck, it's here. Don't laugh at my fuck. God. Midge crowded closer to my leg as Max shoved himself away from the window. He folded his arms, head down as he joined Sammy on the couch in silence. I slowly tucked my notepad away as another cracking sound echoed from the hall, louder this time. What? I started. But Max hissed at me to be quiet. Don't get its attention, he whispered rapidly.
The creaking came closer and closer, and the light was flickering, mad as a strobe. It finally went out entirely. We were cloaked in half darkness, the streetlights below filtering through the windows with their orange glow. Midge's ears were pressed back, and she drew her lips up to bare her teeth in a silent snarl. I put my hand on her back to comfort her, but she was trembling from head to toe. The creaking sounded from the threshold of the hall in the living room, right by us. Sammy sat ramrod straight, frozen, staring over at the dark entry with wild, terrified eyes. Max wouldn't even look at it. He laid his head on his knees and quietly put his hands over his ears. I squinted through the dim light, waiting. More creaking, a breath like a death rattle, and then it moved behind the couch, and I saw it. It moved slowly. It was the figure of a man, if I had to guess, tall and skinny. The white plaster of the wall hugged his frame as he took step after agonizing step along the wall behind the couch.
Oh.
His mouth was open, just a gummy indent where all the wall seemed to suck in, and I could just barely make out the outlines of his closed eyes. His hands reached out along the wall as though he were clawing his way forward, dragging himself painfully along the perimeter of the room. Once in a while, he let out a low moan. For a moment,
Oh.
all I did was watch. I've seen a lot these past several years, and I was starting to think myself above being freaked out by the unnatural. But this thing disturbed me on a primal level. It was like seeing something stuck between life and death, a warped vessel clinging to life without its soul. I found myself frozen just the same as the rest, watching with silent dread as the figure crept closer and closer to my corner of the room. Focus, focus, remember what you're here for. I grit my teeth and shoved down the terror that was rising in me, like a bile. I slowly unzipped my backpack and reached in. Sammy shot me a look with a tiny, desperate shake of his head. I ignored him. I pulled out my thermal camera and pointed it at the wall where the figure stood. The wall clinging to its ribs with every rasping breath it took. There was zero heat, a blue void. I tried a radiation detector next, and again, nothing. It was as if the figure didn't exist. And yet there he was, viscerally real and physical. That left only one thing left to test.
Oh,
This is fucking
that's
badass.
pretty cool. I forced myself to my feet. Sammy's eyes somehow got even wider. Well, Midge let out a miserable whine. I took a faltering step toward the figure, and I reached out. It seemed to sense me, pausing in its sluggish journey and turning its head toward me. The wall caved in around empty sockets. Its hand pushed against the wall, just a little, then a little more. I would have expected the wall to break and splinter, but instead it somehow stretched, wrapping around the figure's hand so I could see its spindly?
Spindly.
Yeah. Its spindly fingers in sickening detail, down to the knobby joints and knuckles. Sounds like my grandpa, bro. Midge whined again.
Oh.
You're so delayed on that.
Damn.
I'm kidding. My grandpa's a beautiful man. Midge
Yeah.
whined again. Mac's head was still buried in his knees, and Sammy was hyperventilating on the couch. I forced myself to concentrate on the figure. The bulges of its eyes stared at me, its blank face mouthing silent words I couldn't understand. I sucked in a breath and took its hand. What? He like straight up just grabbed his hand?
I guess so, man. Afraid of no spooky curse or warping, I guess.
Huh,
Guy's got balls.
fair enough. Everything seemed to warp around that point of contact. My hand went deadly cold. The fingers. Oh my god.
Figure.
The figure's hand felt malleable. Is that malleable or malleable?
Ah!
Malleable?
Malleable, yeah.
Malleable? Oh.
Yeah.
Almost
Almost.
intangible. Yeah, I think I said that right. Molding itself in my grip. It felt like it might turn to ooze and melt into my skin at any moment. Like it was going to fuse with me. It's like that movie, Society. You ever seen that movie?
No.
Ugh, God, you should go watch it.
Is it good?
It's something. I'll say that. It's definitely
Yeah.
something. I was overcome with the feeling of being caught in a vacuum or a black hole, a crushing, smothering nothingness. I forgot how to breathe. Finally, the low moans of the figure took the shape of meaning.
Wrong moans, man. That's the special ed kind. This is more like the oh, the old dead man, bro.
That's okay. Uh, I can't leave that in, bro. You know that,
You
right?
can. It's hilarious.
Oh, dude. The door is
Yeah.
open. It rasped. Its grip on my hand loosened. But you are the wrong one. There was no time to question why, because that was the moment Midge launched herself at me, barking wildly and knocking me away from the figure. Once I was on the floor, she turned around and started growling at the figure, snapping her teeth. The figure slowly retracted its hand, sinking back into the wall until there was nothing but smooth, flat surface. Space. Not surface, space.
Oh,
The
great.
ceiling light flickered on again. For a moment, no one spoke. Sammy finally took a shaking breath and looked at me. You seem now, right? You see. Oh, what? You see now, right? Oh, you see now, right? We're not crazy, it's real. I read that wrong. Max rose from the couch, blank faced and drained, though his expression betrayed nothing. The trembling of his hands as he pulled a bottle of whiskey from the cabinet told me enough. You've got to do something, he said quietly, not looking at me. I can't live with it. Okay, wait.
Figure made no
Hang on,
further,
hang on,
huh?
hang on, hang on. Sammy is the guy doing the like.
Sammy was the guy who was sleeping on the couch, I think, originally.
Okay, who the fuck? Okay, wait. So who was the guy who's coming here to like do the thing or like get rid of the ghost?
AC.
AC. Okay.
That's what they call him or dub him.
Does he have a dog?
Yeah, that's the little dog that kind of like got him away from the figure.
Okay, what's the dog's
Oh,
name?
Midge.
Okay, okay. I thought okay, so it's just another character that I kind of missed. Okay, I got you.
Oh, okay.
I thought Max was the dog. So I was like,
That's funny.
it's like wait.
You fool. The figure made no further appearances that night. I used the time to continue investigating. Naturally, I quizzed the guys on the expected questions. I asked if they'd tried opening up the thin walls of the apartment yet, and they showed me the holes they'd punched through with a hammer. A look inside revealed nothing but drywall and wood. I'd brought a few books with me, and I was cross-referencing them with the notes I had on the situation. It didn't help much. I'd never read or encountered anything like the man in the walls. Weirdly, my mind kept wandering back to the book that I didn't bring with me, the one in the vault.
Oh.
The girl crawled through the door that was not a door. The door is open, but you're the wrong one. Any progress? Sammy checked in on me in the living room around 7 a.m. He'd been in and out of his room all night, hovering over me as I worked. I don't think he slept so much as a minute that night. Max, miraculously, had managed to drag himself to bed and knock himself out after a good few glasses of that whiskey. I'm hitting a wall, I admitted, but we've only just begun, and there's no time to constraint. When you think about it, the figure does the same thing every night. It hasn't become hostile or tried to harm you, right? Not exactly. Sammy shifted uncomfortably, but it radiates this fucking despair, or no, despair isn't the right word. Maybe it's need. Yeah, need. Like it needs something from here. This fucking desperate, awful need, and it won't go away until it gets it. I don't know. It freaks me out. I sighed and ran my hand through my hair. And you're positive nobody died in this apartment?
He wants a kitten,
That
bro.
was the first. The kitten?
Wants a Discord kitten. That's what you're gonna get rid of him.
Ugh. I need my Discord kitten.
Sorry, I'm spending too much time on YouTube Shorts. This is a problem. I'm seeing too much
Fine, bro.
stuff.
It happens. It happens. That was the first thing I checked. This apartment has no rough history that I can find any trace of. Sammy rubbed his eyes. There's nothing. I thought you would know something. Aren't you the expert? What I know is that this doesn't add up. I rose to my feet. Midge yawned and followed suit as I began to pace the room. I'm going to search outside the apartment. Maybe it's something to do with the land itself. I left the apartment and headed out with Midge in tow. I shivered with every creak of the stairs, my lizard brain still convinced that the man in the walls was going to appear at any moment. It was a gray sky outside, the leaves all brown. I went around the perimeter of the area with a metal detector, my old ass EMF detector, even my Geiger counter. I spent hours circling that building. The only pause in the monotony was when we found the black glass. It was nothing special, just a few shards lying at the base of a tree. I didn't recognize the type of glass, or see anything unusual in it. But Midge took one look and started growling. What? What is it? I looked between her snarling face and the shards, trying to figure out what it was she was seeing, that I couldn't. I rolled on a rubber glove and picked it up. Crusted on the bottom was some kind of residue, a sticky film dotted with tiny black crystal formations.
Yes.
Candy? Some sort of drink, I muttered to myself as I inspected it. I'd have left it, but Midge was staring down those shards like she could see the devil in their reflection. I slipped it into a plastic bag and packed it up, then headed back toward the entrance of the building. Outside the glass, everything was ordinary, and that just didn't square. A suspicion had been wiggling in my brain since the figure had appeared, since I had spoken to the guys, actually. My last resort was to confront it.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm pretty sure my Liv just brought my kid up here, and I think he just stomped across the floor and actually just scared the shit out of
Yeah!
me.
Maybe
he
it's funny.
just like he went, and he just ran
Yeah!
across the fuck. Oh my
That's
god,
fucking hilarious.
that made me jump. I was like invested.
Give you a good, give you a Fazbear fright,
It
bro.
did. A moment of your time, fellows, I hollered as I stepped through the door. Sammy jerked awake on the living room couch, and Max sullenly walked out from his bedroom. Find something? Sammy asked, all wide eyed and hopeful. Maybe, but First, a question. I held out my hands. Who's lying? They both stared at me for a beat. Pardon? Max spat out. Who is lying? I repeated. I looked between the two of them, studying their expressions. We have what I call missing variables on our hands, gentlemen. A hidden figure in the equation. I think one of you hasn't told me everything, and I can't solve your problem if you don't tell it. If you don't know everything. If I don't know everything. Sammy's face fell. This is crazy. We told you everything. Told you this freak was a hack, Max muttered. Well, would we contact you for help just to hide things from you? Sammy added. You contacted me, actually. You answered every question I asked in full detail, I said, pointing at Sammy. I turned my finger toward Max next. You, not so much. Maybe because I don't buy your bullshit, Max fired back. It's getting pretty obvious that you don't know what you're doing. I held his gaze for a moment. I had no proof, obviously, but I could sense he was hiding something. Talking clearly wasn't going to get out of him. Wait. Talking clearly wasn't going to get it out of him.
There you go.
My bad. I barreled past Max and made a beeline for his bedroom. I shut the door and locked it behind me before he could yank me out. As Max and Sammy pounded on the door and yelled an impressive string of curse at me, I did a visual sweep of the room. I looked for anything that stood out as odd. Out of place. Didn't quite fit. I knew it was possible I'd come up with empty again, but it was my last resort. After a minute of this, with a doorknob violently shaking behind me, I caught something a little cut in the side of his mattress. Too clean and precise, I hurried over and stuck my fingers in it, feeling around until they curled around a plastic bag. I pulled it out inside were little shards of black crystals and glass pipe. Was he like
Oh,
a crackhead?
he smokes that fucking mystical
That
jonga, bro.
mystical Jonga? The door finally swung open behind me, and I turned to see a red-faced Max with a bent paperclip in his hand. The color drained right out of his face once he saw what I was holding. Sammy and Midge stood just behind him, one in stunned silence and the other slowly advancing toward me. Her ears pinned back as she growled at the bag. What, Sammy? Wait, what? Sammy sucked in. What? Sammy sucked in a shaky breath and turned to Max. I thought you quit years ago. I did. I mean, I had. It's not what you think. It's not the same. Max dropped the paperclip and snatched the bag from my hand, clutching it close to him, back up into the wall. For a second, I thought I saw something move behind him. What is that stuff? I asked him, and he rose to my feet. I mean, meth doesn't come in black, does it? Maybe it does. I'm not a meth expert. It's not meth, Max snapped, or cocaine, or anything else like that. It's something different. I I don't know what it is.
Fucking real smart guy there.
Yeah,
Smoking whatever.
nice.
Fucking black crystals, hell yeah.
You don't know what it is, but you still smoke it? That's real fucking smart. Sammy barked out angry. Oh, hang on. Incredulous laugh. You don't understand. Max's eyes started to water, and again there was a flicker of movement in the wall behind him, like a hand reaching out. I gently reached out and took him by the arm, leading him a few feet from the wall. Just in case, so help us understand, tell us everything. Max stared at the ground for a long, long moment. Then he nodded. Max's account.
I've been clean for 4 years, and I plan to keep it that way. I swear, I haven't touched anything since my brother died. I come from a shitty little town that almost no one ever makes it out of. Our mom had run out on us like 6 years before, I think. I don't know where she went or why. Maybe she met someone. Maybe she was just sick of holding it all together. We just woke up one morning and she'd left a post-it note saying she wasn't coming back. Our dad drank so much that he was barely ever there, like mentally. Me and Charlie, note, name changed, uh, only really had each other. Things were always kind of going wrong for us. None of this is an excuse, I guess. It's just an explanation. It's not like we set out to become junkies. There's just no other way in Redacted to take the edge off, to fucking escape. And we were careful. We knew our limits, each time. I guess it only took one time for things to go wrong. The worst part is that I wasn't there with him when it happened. Couldn't help him. I was fucking asleep. I was asleep, and I just woke up and went downstairs, and everything was dead quiet. I saw he wasn't on the couch like he usually was, and I had this weird sinking feeling in my chest. So I went down to check the basement, and I fucking found him, already gone. Overdose, obviously. Sometimes I wonder if he did it on purpose. So yeah, fucked me up, and I barely got out of bed for a year. Then I got the bright idea that I don't know, better myself. And maybe that would distract me from the hole that just sits in my heart now. I got clean. I left Redacted. I went back to school and got my life together. And got my life together. And guess what? It didn't help. I didn't fucking feel better then. Or right now. Because the one thing I'd cared about was still gone. Still dead. I still have the hole in my heart. No degree or stupid little milestone sobriety chip thing is gonna bring my brother back. But this stuff does. Just to be clear, I didn't go looking for it. The guy found me, called my name from an alley when I was walking back, late from a support group meeting. Can't remember his face at all, but I remember he had blonde hair and a really nice suit. Middle-aged, maybe. I'd never seen the guy in my life, so I asked how he knew my name. Said that we'd met in another place, another time. Those words exactly. And he kept smiling at me. He said he was here visiting. I don't know why I stood there talking to him. I didn't want to. It was like every word out of his mouth bolted me to the ground. Like my body was totally disconnected from what my brain wanted to do. And the weird thing is, I can't even remember those first few minutes of conversation. What we talked about. I mean, it's all a blur until he brought up Charlie. He told me he told me that Charlie missed me, that Charlie was waiting for me, and that Charlie really badly wanted to talk to me. Then he got a bag out of his pocket, packed full of those black crystals, and the pipe. Said if I smoked it, I would unhook my brain and let me see my brother. I wanted to walk away, but my legs wouldn't let me, or take me. But I don't know if that was him or me doing that. And I held out my hand. He smiled even wider, and he dropped the bag into my hand, then walked away. I don't think I even got his name. For a while, I resisted. I didn't touch the stuff. I had it hidden in the mattress, and I figured I'd hand it off to the cops or a lab or something. But every time I tried to, I couldn't bring myself to walk out the door. I just kept thinking, what if it's true? What if my brother is really waiting for me? Turned to Sammy. I didn't want to try it with you in the house. I didn't want you to smell anything or get exposed to anything. I waited until you went that weekend to Redacted to visit your parents. I waited for night to come because it's easier to do the wrong thing when you're in the dark, I guess. Sat in the middle of the living room and smoked it. It wasn't like getting high at all. My brain stayed totally clear. There was none of that sudden confidence or the burst of energy. None of that stupid floaty happiness. I just felt cold all of a sudden. Like all the air got sucked out, or like I'd fallen into a black hole. Everything looked the same, and I was just sitting on the ground, but I had this weird fucking feeling that I was on the edge of something and I was about to tip over. I blinked, and he was there. Charlie, he was exactly like I remembered him, but cleaned up. Almost innocent. He was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, smiling all dumb at me like we were kids. Like we were just sitting down with our bowls of Cheerios about to watch TV on a Saturday morning. I started crying, just crying. "It's okay, Max," he said, and he sounded just like himself, like he was really there. "I missed you too." I thought I was hallucinating, obviously. I reached for his shoulder, and I was almost sure my hand would just pass through, but it didn't. I squeezed his shoulder, and it was real. Solid. Same as either of you. I tackled him into a bear hug, and he laughed. And it was the best feeling I'd known for the last 4 years. We talked for hours. I was on cloud nine. Maybe even then, there was a little part of me that felt like something about him was off. A little too cheerful, a little too easygoing. He didn't quite have that same edge that he'd always carried with him in life. But I ignored it, because hey, it's not like death wouldn't change a person at least a little, right? Once the sun started rising, he started fading away. Parts of him would just vanish bit by bit. I'd blink and there was just a stump where his hand ought to be. Another blink and there went an eye. Legs, ear, torso. By the time he said goodbye, he was nothing but a mouth. come see me again soon, Max. And I did, every night that I could. Soon as Sammy was asleep, I had the pipe out, and Charlie would come back, and we'd hang out just like old times. And yeah, I still had that little wriggling feeling that something wasn't quite right, but I ignored it, because anything was worth having Charlie back. It was a little while before the walls started acting up. That Charlie talked. That Charlie started talking serious. You know I'm stuck, don't you, Max? He asked me one night. I asked him where. Charlie shrugged. A place in between. A lot of different names for it. Try purgatory on for size. Charlie, I started tearing up, because I didn't know what to do. But then he went and told me. It doesn't have to be like this, he said. You can help me move where I need to go. You've got the keys to open the doors, man. I didn't know what he meant when he said keys, but I had this weird instinct that he was right. Like some buried part of my brain knew I won't ever see you again. Though, once I do that, will I? Charlie smiled wider than I'd ever seen him smile my whole life. You find me and pass those keys on to me, and we can go through whatever doors we want. We can hang out for good. Then. Be real brothers again. That should have made me happier than it did, but there was something in the way he said it that made me feel panicky. I have to think about it, I told him. I don't know. His face went all dark and twisted. I didn't know a human face could do what his did. You'd really trap me here? Condemn me to suffering? Do you even know what's hiding outside these little fucking walls of yours? Right out of reach? If you did, you'd never sleep again. An eye disappeared. A hand, his nose, that cold that he'd always brought with him got even colder. Like the whole room was icing over. There was this heaviness that settled over everything, so thick I could barely breathe. I got that weird feeling again, like I was on the edge of a drop, just about to fall over. I'm not leaving without you, Max. Charlie's voice sounded deeper. You're my brother. Wherever I go, you'll go. And then he was gone again. I was too freaked out to smoke again after that. Even though part of me wanted to, even though I still miss Charlie so much it hurts. I thought I'd wait until things calmed down to try it again, but things haven't calmed down. They just started getting worse. I've been having bad dreams. Dreams where I look into the mirror and see Charlie staring back at me, or walk out of the apartment door and end up in some strange dark place. I even sleepwalked once. That was just before the man in the walls started showing up and calling my name. I didn't want to think about it. Didn't want to ask the question, but I can't take it anymore. I have to know. Is it Charlie? End of Max's account. You know,
Damn.
that was fucking awesome, but you'd think that'd be important information to fucking tell the guy.
Yeah, probably. I was talking to my dead brother, but I
uh,
can't see how it's connected. I really
yeah,
don't know.
And I started having bad dreams, and all of a sudden this guy showed up when I stopped talking to my brother. Like, no
Yeah,
connection there.
I started smoking this magical ghost drug, and I don't know.
Magical fucking ghost song,
That's
bro.
that's funny. Max stared at me. The question hung in the air like a black cloud. It's possible that it's Charlie, I told him. But there's no way to know for sure that the man in the wall and the man you spoke to under the influence of the crystal are the same entity. There's no way to know you ever spoke to Charlie at all, frankly. Max's face cracked. It was Charlie. It had to be. He knew everything. You'd be surprised at the was that malicious?
Malicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what malicious entities can dig up about us. A lot of them are master actors. Sammy was dead silent through all of this, looking at his roommate with an expression I couldn't hope to decode. Midge, saint that she is,
Midge, saint that she is.
went over to Max and laid her head on his lap. Max stroked her head and seemed calm for the first time since I'd met him. He didn't fight me when I quietly confiscated.
Confiscated.
Shut up, bro. I got it.
Yeah.
I quietly confiscated the crystals and the pipe. What do we do now? Sammy asked. I shrugged and I shoved the crystals into my jacket pocket. Wait for nightfall. It came faster than I thought it would. These autumn nights, they fall on you like a stack of bricks. For oh my God. Before long, we were all seated in the living room, waiting in silence as the warm glow of the street lamp cut through the window. Sammy and Max sat opposite ends of the couch, neither quite looking at each other. I'd drawn wards on the ground and put down a salt circle, but was mostly security threat theater. Security theater? What does that mean?
Yep. It's like salt and like the words and stuff is just for like just to feel better, I guess.
Oh, okay. I didn't know nearly enough about the thing to know how to protect ourselves from it. Midge went still beside my leg when the first sound started. That slow, aching creak of wood echoed through the apartment, chased by the same muffled moans I heard the night before. Sammy
Uh,
turned Sammy turned to Max and spoke so quietly I almost didn't hear it. Don't follow it, please. A hand pushed against the wall behind them. The air went so cold the goosebumps erupted all over my arms. Max had described the feeling perfectly. We were sucked into a heaviness, a black hole, a void. Another place was knocking at our door. The figure crawled along the wall. Ugh. Its each and every movement slow. Methoded.
Methodical.
Methodical. Okay.
Trying to have a stroke.
I was gonna give me a stroke. Methodical, deliberate. It nearly made me ill, watching it creep its way closer. I waited until it had passed the couch. Then I forced myself to my feet and approached it. Are you Charlie? I asked. The figure stopped short. It turned its head and glanced. Turned its head at a glacial pace to stare at me. Are you the entity that's been speaking to Max for the past several weeks? I tried. It still continued to stare at me, as though the look itself was the answer. Tell it to go back to wherever it's from, Sammy whispered, urgently. Max went tense beside him. Banish it or something. I waved him off and kept my eyes on the figure. If you can't tell me, can you show me? The figure stared. Then slowly it extended its hand toward me, stretching the wall like a putty. Midge growled low behind me. Bad idea, said a little voice in my head, the one I usually ignore. I reached out and took the entity's hand. A sigh unfolded in the air. Pure exhalation?
Exhalation. Yep.
Yeah, pure exhalation. And the wall began to open up. It was like flour unfurling layers of space peeling. I can hear echo, by the way.
Oh, let me move that. Okay.
Layers of space peeling open behind the figure. The plaster cracked and split in 1,000 mirrored um, iterations. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. It sounds like I'm having a stroke. Iterations. And the wooden beams bent outwards like ribbons. When it was all peeled back, a dark expanse shimmered behind the man in the wall. A silent field and a red sky. A door had been opened. The man in the wall was young, a teenager even. He kept hold of my hand, but paid me no attention beyond that. Instead, he turned his head to stare at Max, who stared back in soundless horror. Brother, he rasped, flickering back to Charlie's face. I need you. You need me? Come with me. Wherever I go. I go, Max whispered. Max got up, staring at Charlie as though in a trance. He took a step closer, then closer. No, Sammy shot up and grabbed Max by the shoulders. He tried to drag Max out of the room, but Max fought against him, trying to make his way to Charlie. I looked down at my hand, still in Charlie's low iron grip. I didn't think my wards were working worth a damn, but that awful cold was creeping up my arm, and I felt like I was about to fall off a cliff edge. So I did, the only thing that came to mind. I pulled. Charlie's eyes shot wide, and finally he turned his attention back to me. He tried to yank his hand away, but this time I was the one holding on. I braced myself on the ground and pulled. Pulled. It was like he was being stopped by a glass wall, unable to follow me into the room. His arms stretching grotesquely until the muscles started to snap. Ugh. As I tried to force him across the threshold, his body began to change and unfurl. just like the wall had. His eyes rolled back and away, his chest split open down the middle, heart and lungs and viscera, bare for everyone to see before that began curling away too. He was like a human, kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope. Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised I knew that. Section of himself collapsing in on each other, with what was left of his mouth. Charlie let out his ear-splitting shriek, and the wall began to close up over him. Reality knitting itself back into place until it was like he'd never been there at all. I looked down at my hand. It stung, but nothing seemed out of sorts. Midge had fled to the far corner of the room, standing there with Sammy. As for Max, he stumbled over to the blank wall and pounded on it, calling his brother's name, telling Charlie that he was sorry.
I left the next morning. Sammy and Max promised they'd let me know if the entity returned, and I haven't heard from them since I left. In turn, promised to perform a few rituals for Charlie's soul, just in case that was really him in there. Max gave me the bag of black crystals and the pipe to study. I was hyper aware of it as I drove through the mountains. Midge was fidgety in the back seat, casting nervous looks at the glove department. Hard to blame her, because it was all I could think about too. I kept telling myself not to take it out. I told myself I needed to take a look at it under the microscope, to run tests, to do what I always did when I got my hands on some unnatural specimen. But this wasn't like the other specimens. I just kept thinking, what if it's true? What if my brother is really waiting for me? I stopped my car on the side of a bridge over a river, and took the bag out of the compartment. I stepped outside with it, Midge barking like crazy from the car, just staring at it. I got hit with all these unprofessional thoughts at that moment, ideas that were nowhere near the realm of simple tests and studies, and memories that I had buried a long time ago. Through it all, like a thread looping through layers of fabric, was the same thought. It would be so easy. And then, for reasons I probably won't understand until I'm on my deathbed, I hurled the bag down into the river. So not a whole lot learned of this trip. I'll have to dig up research on the crystals some other, more tedious way. A just punishment for that moment of raging stupidity and fear. For now, though, it's back to the vault and the book. I fucking love that.
That was really cool.
The descriptions,
That was
the
really good.
dialogue, dude.
Yeah, the dialogue was
Like,
great.
that hit my bent the fucking tingler, bro. That hit my fucking. I like that. That was good,
That was very good. I'm wondering if this is like a series he has. I'm gonna have to
dude.
ask him because I'm wondering. I
Dude,
would like to
AC.
read more of these.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if it's a series or if he's planning on starting a series if he hasn't. Because there's clearly a lot to like unbox with this character and like what's going on with the vault and all that shit. It's pretty cool. You know what it
yeah.
reminds me of a lot?
What?
The one we read, the disposable service for cursed objects.
Yeah,
Very similar.
yeah. Honestly,
Very, very similar.
I I really enjoyed both of the like
Both of
that
those
story
are
and this
really
one.
good. Yeah, those
Very
those
nice.
guys should work together. Honestly, like both of these
That'd be
stories
crazy.
were very similar. And it almost feels like they could be in the same world. To be honest.
Honestly, dude, that'd be so cool.
So I don't even really have any feedback for this, to be honest, because like there's not really much I can say right now to give you. Like
Yeah,
it's pretty solid. Like he clearly put a lot of work into this, and he clearly like is this something he's clearly
very
been
thought
working
out.
on? Yeah, it's very well thought
Yeah,
out. He clearly put a lot of work into his dialogue and how he wanted the story to pace and how he wanted like it's just very well done. Um,
yeah.
the only thing I will say is that I did want to kind of the creature to kind of be like a little more a little more hostile. You know what I mean? A little more of a threat. But that's just me.
Well,
That's
I think the whole thing is like it. You smoke this thing, and then you have to you have to fall into this trap, kind of, right? Like I don't think it can grab
yeah.
you.
I got
You
that.
have to
I
willingly.
got that. But that kind of just makes the creature a pushover. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
fair.
like it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's a really cool concept. But like it just that kind of just makes the creature not scary to me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because then he's just
it
kind
does
of
describe the
sitting there on the
weakness, right?
wall, and it's just like, what? You gonna do something? It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just
What's
like
up?
I don't. It's like, all right. And so it kind of like it kind of took a
I
little bit
think
of the scariness out of it. But that's
yeah,
all I can really say.
fair.
That's more of a
I thought it
nitpick.
was more cool than scary. Yeah,
Yeah.
because kind of like how it was described and how like it seemed, I kind of feel like it was just an entity trying to get out of limbo,
Yeah, it was.
and it's gonna do whatever it can to get out.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was figuring, but I wanted a little more scare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't like. I don't really think we've read one that's gotten me yet, to be honest. But I'm waiting for it. But
Well, I I don't know. I've never been scared by reading something, so I don't know to.
there's gonna be one. I'm waiting for it. So if
Just gives
any
you a
of you
good old
guys
fright,
listening here have one that you know of that's actually pretty scary, let us know because
spooky
I'm
story.
waiting for it. Or if you guys are
Yeah,
writing
man.
one that you think's actually scary, you can send it to us and I'll tell you. We'll tell you.
We'll tell you.
Anyways, that's all. That's all for today. Everyone,
Yep.
have a good night, and
Have a good night.
we'll be back. Goodbye.
Goodbye.